afternoon, everybody. It really is amazing to see so many people of all different races out here caring. I can't say how much that has just really improved my opinion of humanity, seeing everyone stand up and care here. I want to talk a little bit about my experiences personally and professionally with the police and what I'm hoping to see in terms of change through the legal system come out of this. So my first memory of the police, I was about 5 years old, and a police officer accused my father and mother of shoplifting the baby carrier that my sister was in. The store didn't even carry that brand of baby carrier. My parents were well-employed people. They did not steal, but that cop talked down to them, and I remember that to this day. Going forward, I've had interactions with the police over the course of my life that have been quite unpleasant. I've not committed any crimes, but I've been pulled over nearly 40 times in my life for driving while black. Out of all of those stops, I've been given 3 tickets. Most of those stops all happened within an 8-month time period. It was 3 police departments in the northwest suburbs of Chicago. They wanted to make sure I knew I was not welcome there. As an attorney, I've had cases with clients who were treated by the police in terrible ways. I've had clients who were shot. I've had clients who were beaten up by the police. And in just about every one of those cases, the police got away with it because of the legal doctrine of qualified immunity. Qualified immunity essentially gives police a get-out-of-jail-free card when it comes to violating civil rights. And that is just a significant problem that we have in the legal system, and I'm hoping to see that changed. Now, I've cared about the police and their issues with racism and brutality for years, but when I became a father, that really lit a fire under me on it. Sitting there thinking about my children ending up like George Floyd or Breonna Taylor, that is scary. It keeps me up at night, it worries me, and probably the worst part is knowing that a police officer could murder my children and get away with it, just like so many of them have so far. Now, history shows us that racism and police brutality, they're nothing new. They've been around essentially as long as we've had policing in this country. Most of the time, the police got away with it because there was no witness, there was no video, and that's changed recently. The murder of George Floyd gave everyone in the world a close-up view of a police officer murdering a man. We saw in high-quality video George Floyd beg for his life, call out for his mother, and die. It was just sickening, and we all saw it. It's something that I don't think anyone who watched that video is ever going to forget. I know I'll never forget it. Seeing that video, seeing that murder, has led to the greatest civil rights movement since Dr. King, and that is just a beautiful thing. It shows the same thing I was seeing earlier. People care. Humans are basically good, and we can fix this together if we choose to. One thing we know already is that protesting works. Just in the last couple of weeks, we've seen laws change. Here in Iowa, a law was passed and signed by the governor yesterday that made significant improvements in terms of the ability to investigate police who engage in brutality and racially motivated violence, in terms of preventing those police officers from being rehired by a different department. Those changes are significant. New York saw similar changes dealing with making sure police disciplinary records are open to the public and to the news so that they can't be swept under the rug time and time again. Those changes and the other changes we've seen are a direct result of people showing up and protesting. That's what brought that change about. It is the action of each of us coming to protest and taking action, and that is what is going to fix this problem. So we will achieve these goals by protesting, by writing to our elected officials, by registering to vote and voting. We'll do it by also making sure we keep the police accountable individually. I'm going to make a point going forward of recording police interactions that happen around me. If I see the police pulling someone over, doing something that looks even possibly questionable, I'm going to pull out my camera and I'm going to record it. And I would ask everyone here to do that as well. That may save someone from dying, and it may make sure that we have the video so we know what happens and so we can address it going forward. We will not forget George Floyd. We will not forget Breonna Taylor. We will not forget the thousands of other victims of police racism and violence. I am confident that we are going to seize the initiative here, and we're going to make this world a better place for ourselves and for our children. Thank you.
Thank you.